Welcome back to the Junior Moneymakers Podcast, the show that's all about helping you teach your kids to become young entrepreneurs that can start and grow their own business. Well, today is the day, Junior Moneymakers. In just a few hours, my family and I are going to be hopping in a car and heading straight to Ramsey Solutions. This has been an event that's almost 2 years in the making, and outside of our marriage and having kids, this is absolutely the biggest thing we have ever done. Now, I want you to know that you can watch us live sometime between 1 and 2 p.m. Central Standard Time by going to daveramsey.com/show. And for those of you listening to this after watching us on the show, welcome to the podcast. The entire point of this program is to help your kids learn to manage money early so they can start their own lives debt-free. Okay, so yesterday I said I had this huge announcement coming up, and I'm not going to make you wait until the end of the podcast to hear it. I'm not that kind of guy. So here it goes. On January the 8th, the Junior Moneymakers Academy is going live. That's right, I've been hard at work designing a new 4-month course where I'm going to be walking students through the steps they need to take to have their business up and running by this summer. I really want to invest a lot of time and energy into your success, so right now I'm planning on limiting initial registrations to only 500 students, and you can bet that those seats are going to go really, really fast. Now, if you want to jump on the waiting list so that you can be the first one to get notified when the course is live, email me right away at mark@juniormoneymakers.com. Okay, so I hope you're really excited about the Junior Moneymakers Academy, but right now, we're about to jump into an episode. Alright, because we have so many new listeners today, I really wanted to make an episode all about why it's so important to teach kids about entrepreneurship. So I'm going to give you 3 things that you can start doing today to get your kids started on the path to being billionaire philanthropists. Well, at least kids who can afford to pay for their own movie tickets. And while that all sounds really cool, before I can give you any advice, I think it's really important to tell you why this project is so important to me. So I'm a father of 4 amazing homeschooled kids, and I've been married to my beautiful wife Angela for 16 amazing years. 3 of my 4 kids are girls, and my only son is my oldest, JT, and he's 13. So I'm not going to turn this episode into a math problem, but I do want you to understand that having kids is expensive. So I'm going to throw 2 quick math problems at you. Try to keep up. First, the average cost of college in the United States is about $9,500 at a state school and $33,000 at a private school. Times that by 4 in your head, and then pin that number up on the wall. Got it? Okay, now, if you remember, I said I had 4 kids and only 1 son, so that's 3 girls, give or take. Now, traditionally, the wife's father pays for the wedding, and we've already established that's me, so I'm going to need to add those costs up as well. So we take 3 girls times the average US wedding cost, which in 2017 was, alright, I hope you're sitting down, $35,000. Don't adjust your speakers, you heard me right. $35,000 for the average US wedding. That is a podcast episode all by itself because I really want to figure out how to get myself a piece of that action. Okay, so I have 3 girls. We can times that by 35,000 in today's dollars, plus 4 kids times somewhere between 9.5 and 33,000 in today's dollars. Take a second, add that up. I'll do the math in my head. Okay, what did you come up with? I came up with a massive amount of money I need to have just to meet the average college and wedding expenses in the United States. Madness. Fortunately, my family and I have always been really good at making money. I have a full-time day job, and we always have at least 1 or 2 side businesses. Right now, I run a martial arts school, and my wife has a very successful photography business. In the past, we've also done things like selling antiques and even Mini Coopers as well. Unfortunately, when I was in Amsterdam about 2 years ago, my family and I were hit by a street train while crossing an intersection. Neither I nor the train driver saw each other coming, and it was a perfect storm, and a near-perfect collision. You see, while my car was pretty much undrivable, all of the precious cargo in the back was completely unscathed. Glory to God. Unfortunately, at the time, I was completely broke and hopelessly in debt. So thinking about college and wedding plans was out of the question. I don't mean I was a few dollars broke. I mean I was beyond broke. See, we were on a vacation in a country that we couldn't afford, and we had no way to get home. We were really in over our head. All of this was happening while our brand new Honda Odyssey was sitting smashed on the road just a few feet in front of us. Honestly, it took my very last penny just to get my family home from Amsterdam, and even then it was only by the grace of God and our insurance company, USAA. That day, I learned a lot of lessons, but the biggest one was that even though I was very good at making money, even though entrepreneurship ran deep in my family's blood, at 37 years old, I had absolutely no idea how to handle it. I never learned the skills I needed to win with money while I was still living at home, and so I was doomed to make my mistakes out in the real world where they nearly cost my family and I everything. Now, there's a happy ending to this story. If you fast forward a year and a half later, my family and I have paid off almost $100,000 in debt. I told you, we've always been really good at making money, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that my family and I will never, ever be in a situation like this ever again. Okay, so now you're asking yourself what this has to do with you and your family. It's easy. The entire purpose of this podcast is to help your children learn to earn their own money while they're at home, so I can help coach them on how to properly spend, save, and give while they're still under your guidance. If we can work together on that, then they can make their mistakes now while they're still under your protection, and their mistakes won't cost them their children's lunch money. How does that sound? Okay, if that sounds good to you and you want to be partners, there are 2 things you can do right after the show. First, subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher by simply searching for Junior Moneymakers and hitting subscribe. If you don't know how to do that, don't be embarrassed. Just email me at mark@juniormoneymakers.com and let me know how I can help. It's one of my most frequently asked questions, so seriously, don't sweat it. Second, you need to jump on my mailing list. Go to juniormoneymakers.com and just throw your name and email on the right-hand side of the page. Every week, I send tips, tricks, and money-making ideas just for you and your family. Okay, awesome. Now let's talk about 3 things you can do to start teaching your kids entrepreneurship right now. Tip 1. You need to teach your kids where money comes from. A really simple gauge of whether or not they know where money comes from is to ask yourself where they go when they want a new toy or game. If you're at the store and they ask, or worse, beg you to buy something for them, they probably have absolutely no idea where money really comes from. See, they're looking at you as the source for their wants, and this is not a good thing. As long as they see you as their ATM machine, they're going to be unable to look for their own opportunities to make money. It's time to transition them out of your wallet by letting them know that you will be blessing them from time to time, but if there are things they want, they're just going to have to save up and buy them themselves. My son was only 12 when he saved up almost $500 in a month and a half to buy himself the Lego Disney Castle. Once he realized that he was responsible for his own wants, the whole game changed. Talk this one over for your spouse, but the earlier you get on this, the better. Tip 2. You need to teach your kids how to make money. Listen, I know this can sound like an impossible task, but trust me, it's actually pretty easy. You don't want to tell your kids that they're on their own and send them on their way. That's going to be a recipe for disaster. Instead, you need to supply them with age-appropriate ideas that they can use to make money. Very young kids can pick up toys for a quarter, for example. Older kids can do extra household chores. Middle and high schoolers are ready for simple work outside the home. And in some cases, not so simple work, as there are plenty of middle school moguls making 6 figures off of their big ideas. Now, every week on this podcast, I do talk about very specific ways that kids can make money. So go back and listen to some back episodes for some inspiration. And don't forget to hit subscribe and plug them in. Tip 3. They need to know what to do with money once they have it. This is probably the easiest of the group. Your kids need to know that there are 3 things that they can do with money and that they need to be doing all 3. First, they need to spend, then they need to save, and then they need to give, and not necessarily in that order. What that looks like in every family is very different, but in our family, we believe in the tithe, so 10% off the top of any gains goes straight into the share jar. The rest is usually split 45-45, but that's really up to you guys. It's really important to teach the whys and hows of each category, but that's something we can really talk about more on a future episode. So there you go. 3 cornerstones that you can start working on with your family right now. If you have any questions at all, just email me at mark@juniormoneymakers.com anytime, and I'll be happy to help you out. On top of that, and this is huge, on January 8th, I'll be launching the Junior Moneymakers Academy, where I'll be walking your kids through all 3 of these from start to finish. Man, that really sounds like a great place for an ad. On January 8th, I'm going to be launching the Junior Moneymakers Academy. This 4-week course is designed with one and only one goal in mind. I want to help your kids start a business that is up, running, and making money by this summer. In this course, we're going to figure out a business idea, draft a business plan, earn our startup costs, and launch our business all in only 4 months. The course is going to be video-based, and once a week, your family will get a new video along with worksheets and other instructional aids. The class is going to launch at $29.99 on January 8th, but members of my email list that sign up before then are going to get the course for only $19.99 along with a few bonuses that I'll be announcing soon. $19.99 is absolutely the lowest price that this course will ever go for, so if you want a great deal, you need to get in right now. I'm planning on limiting the course to only 500 applicants, so email me at mark@juniormoneymakers.com today to get on the waiting list. Okay, so there you have it. Another episode is in the bag. For those of you that are new to the show, thank you so much for joining. To everyone else, thank you for an amazing first season of the podcast. I cannot wait to see what season 2 of the show has in store. So I'll see most of you in a few hours at daveramsey.com/show. Just scroll down the page and they have a link right to their YouTube channel where you can watch live. I can't wait to see you then, and I really can't wait to get your email about the Junior Moneymakers Academy. So until I see you again, don't forget to dream big and change the world. The views expressed on this program in no way represent the views of the United States Air Force, the Department of Defense, or the United States government, and are solely those of the host and their guest. Additionally, the ideas in this program should only be tried after ensuring compliance with all laws and regulations, and then only with parents' permission. Finally, while we believe in every idea we present, we cannot guarantee your results, as all individual results will vary. How do you know when an elephant is sleeping under your bed? Your head hits the roof.